You ever scroll through someone else's success and suddenly feel like you're behind in life? Like no matter how hard you try, you're always a few steps short, a little too late, a little too lost, a little too invisible. That's the trap. And if you don't escape it, it'll drain your power right in front of your eyes. If you're truly serious about success, the very first move isn't working harder. It's cutting the toxic habit of watching everyone else. Because every time you compare their wins, their pace, their lifestyle, you're subtracting from your own progress. Every second spent looking outward is a second stolen from building your future. Focusing on others, that's distraction. Focusing on yourself, that's direction. When you stop chasing their timeline and start showing up fully for your own, everything shifts. Success doesn't come from comparison. It comes from clarity, discipline, and doing the hard, quiet work that actually changes your life. If you're ready to reclaim your focus and build on your own terms, comment 9 below and hit that subscribe button, because your journey deserves more than the sidelines. What distinguishes those who fixate on other people from those who fixate on themselves is something I'll explain in the following few seconds. Here, you will find the keys to overcoming comparison, learning to tune out the nagging thoughts of others, and refocusing your attention on your own journey, no matter how many obstacles you face. Put yourself in the position of being the center of your own universe for a second. If you want to change the world, accomplish your goals, or realize your dream, you have to start with yourself. I am not using metaphor here. You will never come to comprehend this fact more fully than this. If you can master your thoughts, your life will follow your every order. I devoted my life to learning about the thoughts and ideas of the most influential businessmen, scientists, politicians, and philosophers who have ever lived. No one ever got where they are now without a clear goal in mind and an unshakable faith in their own abilities. Neither wealth nor influence were prerequisites for their meteoric rise to fame. A choice was taken by each of them to take control of their own destiny. The man known as Andrew Carnegie was born into extreme poverty in a little Scottish village. He arrived in the United States with little money, no relatives, and no formal education. Despite his circumstances, he remained steadfast in his pursuit of a profound vision and an irresistible passion. The most significant constraints in life are not those imposed by others, but rather by our own self-imposed constraints, as Mr. Carnegie recognized, and many others failed to acknowledge. Mr. Carnegie was not one to waste time comparing himself to others. He was unaffected by the good fortune of his predecessors and showed no signs of shying away from individuals who seemed to have more education, experience, or good luck than he had. His focus shifted inside instead. He researched on his own. Mentally, he was a master. He poured his heart and soul into realizing the goal he had set for himself. He stood squarely in the middle of his cosmos and twisted reality to suit his purposes. I hope you will take this lesson to heart. Look straight forward. Your ability to succeed is unrelated to that of your neighbor. Your compass should not be set by the promotions of your co-workers, the accomplishments of your friends, or the plaudits that others have received. No one else's dream is more important than your own. It is your purpose to bring out your own. The moment you start measuring your success against that of another, you forfeit part of your authority. If you let your attention wander from your inner world to anything outside of yourself, you'll find that your ideas are disorganized, Your actions are impulsive, and your outcomes are unpredictable. Can you see the grave threat this poses? Take control of your own thoughts again. Your ideals, principles, and aspirations must be believed in wholeheartedly. Above everything else, they are important. More important than the present outcomes are these. They are more important than any uncertainty or anxiety you may have. When you start making decisions based on this principle, things start to fall into place. It starts to manifest in your life. As you concentrate more intently, see more clearly, and act in accordance with your goals, the universe, odd and enigmatic though it may be, starts to react. Personal transformation starts from inside. Creating achievement begins in the visible domain of one's thoughts. The blueprint is prepared prior to the skyscraper's ascent. The vision is developed before the money is produced. The guy must first become mentally disciplined before he can achieve power. Therefore, I beg you, what is the inner vision you hold? For some reason, you just can't seem to let go of this one thought. Avoid inquiring about the feasibility. Find out whether it's really yours. If so, you can't afford to waste time asking for permission. Put an end to seeking indications. You need to quit being so critical of yourself and others. Take control of your own mind. Proclaim that you are the one who controls your destiny. You are not meant to mimic. Here, you are meant to create. Keep in mind that the most influential people in history did not rise to prominence by blindly following the crowd, but by listening to and acting on their own inner guidance. That voice is also yours. Nothing has ever escaped you. All it needs is for you to give it a listen. Take a deep breath, center yourself, and begin creating the life you want for yourself. To you, everything revolves around you. Recall it always. The significance of self-belief. Over time, the most accomplished people who had a lasting impression on society all have one thing in common: a rock-solid faith in themselves. This confidence did not stem from hubris. It had nothing to do with pride. It was an innate belief, an assurance that their goal was worthwhile to strive for, regardless of the obstacles, setbacks, or opposition they encountered. The inventor of the electric light bulb, Thomas Edison, tried and failed over 10,000 times before finally succeeding. I think the majority of the guys would have given up and capitulated. Although most people would have given up after a while due to burnout and the fact that they had worked so hard, Mr. Edison never let it stop him. Mr. Edison had the quality that all successful people should strive for: faith in the merit of their own ideas. Those who gave up were not a yardstick by which Mr. Edison judged himself. He refrained from inquiring about the reason for his seeming slow progress, since he saw others achieving achievement at a faster rate. The importance of failure as feedback, rather than a verdict, was something he grasped, something that few people ever do. With each setback, I was able to hone my skills, have a better understanding of the subject, and ultimately realize my objective. You must sustain this spirit going forward. A little bit of brilliance is already within you. It does not speak until you give it your faith, your action, and your perseverance, discipline, and bravery to grow and flourish. Most importantly, it is waiting for you to believe. Faith is essential. This quality is shared by everyone. All further advancements are based on it. Ideas are only desires without it. Goals are just as much aspirations without it. Your most brilliant ideas will remain unfulfilled, and your finest abilities will remain dormant if you do not have it. Fear and uncertainty are not indicators of frailty. You must understand this. They are a component of the path. Despite the uncertainty, every person who has ever achieved anything significant has continued on their journey. Embrace was not their guiding principle. They would not allow themselves to be controlled by uncertainty. Rather, they defended their faith with unwavering conviction. They kept seeing it in their heads until it came to fruition. When others gave up on their vision, they persisted. Therefore, I must inquire, what are your self-perceptions? Do you think there's more that you're capable of? How confident are you in the validity of your aspirations, the significance of your work, and the value of your ideas? Take appropriate action if it is the case. Believing is the key to your speech. Go about your day like a believer. Do everything you do with the mindset that success is yours the moment you decide not to let go. Plan, think, move, and develop. You need to stop waiting for other people to affirm your worth. A complete waste of time. It all starts from inside. If you want to attract success into your life, you must first trust in your own strength, your own destiny, and your own potential. Not by coincidence, but as a result of deliberate action, the people, chances, ideas, and resources start to materialize. A secret known only to the great ones was this: faith does not exist in the mind. One may choose. Every day, hour, and second, it's a choice. You become more powerful, unstoppable, and aware of your limitless potential in proportion to the amount of faith you put into yourself. Trust in your abilities. Do it right now, not tomorrow or when you're feeling ready. Belief is the bridge that leads to whatever you want. Let the world see the strength of a believing mind by opening that door and stepping through it. Goal setting and clear vision. Envision yourself alone on a wide ocean. Every action you do is a response to the environment around you. The winds change, the waves take you in unpredictable directions, and so on. There is no steering, no purpose, just meandering. This is the exact how a lot of people go about their lives, responding to events rather than taking charge of them. Successors, those who built empires and left legacies, were wiser. One guideline they lived by was to know where you were going before you set off. Walt Disney is an icon of imagination and wonder, who is renowned all over the world. Few, however, recall the number of times he was turned down until he finally achieved success. He lost his job at a newspaper because he couldn't think beyond the box. He encountered treachery, bankruptcy, and many doors that would not open. Still, Mr. Disney held steadfastly to one thing: a vision throughout it all. His vision for the future was clear. He had a crystal clear vision of it in his head before everyone else did, and that vision served as his compass. Here we have the lesson. With clarity comes strength. When your desires are crystal clear, you direct your mental energy in the direction of achieving them. Your perspective on the world starts to shift. Chances are seized, obstacles are disregarded, and vitality is directed where focus is directed. Ambiguous aspirations produce nebulous outcomes, but a goal that is clearly defined, written down, evaluated every day, and followed with determination may become an unstoppable force. You and your future self get into a live, breathing pact. Now the question is, where are you headed? Do not answer this question carelessly. An in-depth analysis is required. It calls for contemplation and solitude. You need to figure out what you want deep down. Not what other people think or what your fears will let you do, but what you really want. Would you say it's financial freedom? Is it art at its finest? Which one? Freedom, contribution, or legacy? Better? No matter what it is, take notes. Put it out of your mind. Ideas come and go. Written objectives serve as moorings. Your identity and your goal are brought to light by them. Go over them every day. Pronounce them. Make sure nothing can take them out of your thoughts by letting them burn brightly. Keep your end objective in mind and let your decisions reflect it. If one option gets you closer, go for it. Refuse it if it leads you further away. Clarity leads to concentration. Motive is born out of concentration. You can move mountains once you get going. Remain unfazed by the magnitude of your objective. Do not dare to imagine a world without one. Aiming high and falling short is not the worst possible outcome. If you aim low and hit, you will succeed. It takes more than chance to achieve success. Their purpose is deliberate. Their every step is deliberate. They are focused and not trying to accomplish everything at once. Because they know where they're going, they're powerful, constant, and unstoppable, like a river. I assume you're the same way. Lay out your objectives. Define them precisely. Find ways to quantify them. If you want to stay on track, even when you're confused, read them. Even in the darkest of times, let them shine brightly. Permit them to regulate your behaviors, clarify your options, and bring order to your turmoil. A person who lacks a clear objective is like a ship that is unprepared for any storm that may come their way. But a guy who has a purpose in life is transformed into an architect, a builder, and the master of his own fate. Being clear is not a bonus. It requires self-control. Put it into practice. Give it more power. Adhere to it. Because you were determined and successful, you will soon be able to look back on your journey with pride rather than regret. Fortitude is the effect of sticking with something until you succeed. One of the most respected presidents in American history comes to mind when one hears the name Abraham Lincoln. However, Mr. Lincoln endured a life of disappointment, rejection, and misery long before he became president. He suffered severe personal losses, was unsuccessful in business, and lost several elections. It would have been reasonable to break him by all standards. He should have resigned long ago, but he persisted nevertheless. Why? Simply put, Mr. Lincoln saw something that the majority of people failed to see. You are not defined by your failures. It takes perseverance. He was determined not to let failures shape his narrative. Each setback was not an end in itself, but rather a turning point in his journey. With each setback, he seized the opportunity to learn, analyze, and ultimately emerge even more formidable. His unfaltering will and dogged pursuit of his goals are what elevated him from a life-beaten man to a legendary leader. You are also subject to this same concept. Becoming great does not occur in a linear fashion. It is not an easy or comfortable path. Rough, unexpected, and merciless is how it frequently is. But there's a mystery hidden among its difficulties. Those difficulties will serve as tests for the person you become in the future. You may either duck or stand when challenges arise, which they will. You have the choice to either give in to the storm's power to break your will or use it to shape who you are. Not everyone who avoids adversity goes on to greatness. Whoever stays the course is one of them. Failures do not indicate that you are heading in the wrong direction. They indicate that you are embarking on a worthwhile journey. Every challenge has its lesson. Failure just makes you stronger. Resilience is built with each fall. Nobody is born with an innate capacity for resilience. Something you construct. It takes the crucible of hardship, the times when you want to give up, and turns it into something beautiful. However, a higher power inside you implores you to continue. Something extraordinary occurs when one persists, when one pushes forth despite uncertainties, discomfort, and fear. You become more resilient, both in deed and in faith. You begin to understand that your capabilities surpass your wildest dreams. The difference between progress and pain becomes clearer as time goes on. Lincoln, Edison, Mandela, and Roosevelt are just a few of the great historical figures that come to mind. A blaze consumed them all. Everyone warned them they wouldn't make it. Despite each one's numerous failures, they continued. And it was because they kept going that they achieved far more than just success. Their perseverance became a symbol of the potential that exists in the human spirit. Your next step is to go inside and determine your life's purpose. Will it be the times when you felt your confidence slipping because of failure or a setback? On the other hand, how will you react to such instances? Like Abraham Lincoln, would you stand firm in the face of adversity and proclaim by your deeds that nothing can break the will of the determined? Do not want a life that is easy. I pray that you have the fortitude to see through a life that matters, one that has effect, meaning, and purpose. Living that sort of life tests your mettle, requires you to keep going even when things become tough, and pays off when you have trust in the process. Do not give up. Progress is made incrementally, problem by problem. Ignore anything the world throws at you. Defeat is not in your future. Embrace this opportunity to grow, learn, and soar. You will not be sorry for the hardship you endured in the end. Because you learned your strength through the fight, you will cherish it. Amazing things can happen when regular individuals are able to bounce back from adversity. Avoid falling into the comparison trap, and let it transform you into the legendary person you were meant to be. You give up control the second you start judging yourself against other people. You devalue your individual worth. You distort the view that is uniquely yours. Dissatisfaction, uncertainty, and diversions cloud what was once an obvious route. Make sense of this reality. The path you choose is uniquely yours. Nobody else has been where you are, experienced what you have, or imagined the things you have. Consequently, you should not let the success of others determine your value. The man responsible for McDonald's meteoric rise throughout the world, Ray Kroc, had a firm grasp of this idea. Without wasting any time, he set out to emulate the McDonald brothers' modest hamburger restaurant and quickly realized that he could not compete with other company owners. What other people were creating didn't pique his curiosity. Everything he did was based on his ability to construct. While everyone else saw a regular burger restaurant, he had a vision, and he pursued it with laser-like intensity. Looking ahead, rather than backward, was the strategy that Mr. Kroc used to grow that little stand into an empire. His focus was squarely on his objective, not on the performance evaluations of his co-workers. He was successful because of it. You can't trust comparisons. Your bliss is snatched away. It messes with your head. The progress you make is poisoned. The game is rigged when you compare yourself to other people. Their struggles go unnoticed because you only see the good parts. The outcomes are what matter, not the path. You lose sight of the fact that your own journey is progressing at a perfect pace when you do this. Paying too much attention to another person's timeline causes you to neglect your own. You shift out of symmetry. Aims that were never really yours start to beckon you. At the end of the day, you're fatigued, irritated, and confused. because you ceased to be authentic, not because you failed. Living up to other people's expectations is not your life's mission. Becoming your greatest, bravest, and most authentic self is your life's mission. Compared to that version, it is not up to scratch. Creation is its home. Looking inner rather than outside is where it flourishes. Never stop comparing yourself to where you were the day before. To my knowledge, it is the only relevant comparison. How are you doing? Was that all? Are you any closer to achieving your goal? Even if no one else seems to be taking attention, you are successful if this is the case. Aim for greatness and do not allow jealousy to derail you. Refrain from letting the chapter 20 of another person cast doubt on your chapter 2. Long and winding roads lead to modest beginnings where no one is cheering. The outcomes, however, will materialize if you persist in constructing, honing, and believing. Take it easy on yourself as you go. Maintain a laser-like concentration. Above all else, be true to your own journey. You can't win a race by trying to outdo other people. In doing your own work with honesty, enthusiasm, and determination, you will find it. Get your power back. Return your attention to the center. Put an end to the din. Get out of the comparison rut. Put a stop to comparing whenever you sense the want to. Hold your breath. I am not in this to compete, so keep that in mind. Here, I will produce. May your path take the natural course. Follow the path of your own development. And success will be defined by your vision, not by the world's. Why? Because this is the reality. The moment you stop comparing, the moment you begin to live, your genuine brilliance will blossom in that unfettered environment. Flexibility and a thirst for knowledge. The inflexible do not prosper in life. People that are open-minded, adaptable, and dedicated to constant improvement will be rewarded. Those who achieve excellence do not stand still, but rather adapt to an ever-changing reality. Success did not come easily to Henry Ford, who was born into humble circumstances. He was deserving of it since he was relentless in his pursuit of knowledge. Seeing things just as they were did not satisfy Mr. Ford. He had an eye for potential and was willing to contribute the resources to make it a reality. It took more than one smart idea for him to achieve success. It sprang from a never-ending thirst for knowledge and a steadfast faith in progress. Then, Mr. Ford adapted, researched, tried, and questioned some more. With that outlook, he revolutionized not just his own life, but also how others throughout the globe saw business, transportation, and advancement. You have this option as a route to follow. You start to fall when you think you've learned enough, matured enough, or accomplished enough. Because achievement is dynamic. It changes. It changes as the world does. And you should too. Your horizons should always be broadening. Peruse literary works. Inquire further. Locate a mentor. Put your own views to the test. Do not be afraid to go into the unknown. Do not limit yourself to what you know. You flourish when you go into the unknown. You grow more in the face of discomfort. Flexibility is strength, not a flaw. It is sage advice. Making changes does not imply giving up on who you are. It denotes bolstering your approach. Those who can change directions without sacrificing their core values are the ones who really make an impact. With the fluidity of water, they effortlessly navigate past any barrier en route to their goal. Not everything in life can be planned out in advance. Times change. As time goes on, people evolve. Moments of opportunity pass. You will remain ahead of others who refuse to let go of the tried and true methods, the tried and true route, or the outmoded skill set. Learning is not a phase, and you realize that. A way of life, if you will. You can't evolve without it. You may strengthen your arsenal with every fresh insight, lesson, and talent you gain. It will help you deal with the unexpected challenges you may face on your path. Keeping a student mentality is the way to go. The ability to see setbacks as learning opportunities. Inquire, what can I learn from this moment? How can I get stronger? What change do I need to make? Comfort is the biggest obstacle to development. Thus, you should take measures to avoid it. A reassuring murmur suggests that everything is okay for now. It entices you to quit pushing yourself, quit trying, and quit looking. You should not befriend comfort, however. It kills potential without anyone noticing. More is in store for you. There is a purpose for you to grow, to evolve, to change. The more you prioritize development over maintenance, the stronger, more competent, and more powerful you will become. Therefore, enjoy the ride. Attend the lesson. Peruse the text. Poke holes in the assumptions. Make the required adjustments. Release what is no longer beneficial to you, and create room for things that will bring you joy. It is not the knowledgeable who will own your future, but rather you who are eager to learn. Adjust, develop, and ascend. You take the lead when you learn. By adjusting, you take charge of your own fate. Those who are always striving to improve themselves will eventually own the world. Awakening a sense of drive and direction. For long-term success, passion is key. It is the unseen flame that keeps you going, the driving force that gives the impression that everything is achievable. Doing anything without enthusiasm makes it seem like work. Seemingly insurmountable barriers abound. Everything changes, however, when passion is at the core of what you do. Among the most famous examples of this, Helen Keller stands out. She lived in a world of darkness and quiet as a little child who was blind and deaf before the age of 2. She refused to concede defeat, however. She refused to give in to constraints. Her unwavering commitment to building relationships, expanding her knowledge, and making a positive impact propelled her to become an inspiration. Miss Keller not only triumphed, but flourished. She went on to inspire millions of people all around the world via her work as an author and public speaker. Her victory was fueled by an insatiable need for knowledge, enthusiasm for conveying ideas, devotion to helping others succeed in spite of challenges. You are a part of this same power. Even if you avoid the problems, you still have to deal with your own trials. You need to discover what really motivates you if you want to overcome these obstacles, take charge, and create a life that you love. Find out what brings you the most joy. For long periods of time without checking the time, what kind of job might you do? To what end are you most enthusiastic, purposeful, and motivated by what goal or idea? Then it is your calling. You were born to do that. Your whole world changes the moment you find it. Things that used to be meaningless now have purpose. No longer are lengthy hours a drain on you. They invigorate you. I turn issues into puzzles. Your mission will no longer be an afterthought. You will no longer need external inspiration to propel you ahead. When you do this, you become captivating, laser-focused, and fully present. A person's level of passion determines how much they can accomplish. It gives you the will to keep going, even when everyone else gives up. It empowers you to go against the grain, to be brave, and to pursue the seemingly impossible. However, keep this in mind. Finding your life's work is not something that happens by chance. It has to be found and picked. At times, it is audible and noticeable. At other times, it beeps softly. You may have to go into uncharted territory, make some blunders, and delve deeply to find it. However, once you do, hold on tight. Give it your all. Take care of it. Center your existence on it. Also, return to what really excites you whenever life attempts to divert your attention. Use it as a guide. You need this as fuel. Follow your heart while making choices. It has the power to mold your professional life, personal connections, and civic impact. Allow it to provide pleasure to your days and purpose to your job. In reality, those who have the greatest money do not always have the most success. On the inside, they are the most passionate. The ability to withstand what others would rather not face is a result of that fire. Even when reason tells them to halt, it propels them ahead any time. As a result, they become unbeatable. Make no compromises. Refrain from numbing oneself with solace or diversions. Do what makes you happy and give it your all. When you really believe in something, you can do anything. Passion propels you beyond just survival. You do great things. You motivate me. You are in control. Your life is lived to the fullest. Allow your mission to serve as the driving force that propels you forward. Allow the powerful rhythm of something significant to beat inside you. And when you follow your heart and do what you love, others will notice. Not because you tried to gain their favor, but because your light is too bright to be ignored. Why thinking positively is so powerful. There is no more potent weapon at your disposal than your own imagination. Being more than just a repository for ideas, it has the power to shape the world around us. You manifest your thoughts into reality. Your attention attracts more of the same. Your internal worldview determines the external reality you encounter. This fact was very clear to Norman Vincent Peale. In his writings, he fought for the idea of positive thinking, not as naive optimism, but as a real and potent tool for change. His ideas allowed numerous individuals to break free from the cycle of negative self-talk by replacing defeat with opportunity. The philosophy of positivism is not a kind one. Being self-disciplined and strong means facing life's challenges head-on and emerging stronger on the other side. Changing your reality is as simple as cultivating a good mental attitude. Obstacles no longer seem to be obstacles. In time, they serve as stepping stones. Mistakes become opportunities for growth. Failing does not constitute a final verdict, but rather criticism. Why is this happening to me? Is a question you no longer ask. On the contrary, you wonder, what am I supposed to learn from this? There is tremendous power unleashed by this little change in perspective. Reason being, ideas are dynamic and never sit on the sidelines. They influence what you say, how you decide to behave, and the outcomes you achieve. Always looking for an excuse to quit, a pessimistic mentality will. There is always a path ahead for a positive-minded mentality. You put yourself in a position to solve problems when you think optimistically. You draw upon imaginative capacities, resiliency, and trust. When you exude a certain vibe, people are drawn to you. When you let go of self-doubt, you unlock opportunities that might have otherwise stayed closed. This in no way implies that difficulties disappear. To think positively is not to ignore or reject reality or suffering. Embracing both with optimism and resilience is the key. The capacity to see light notwithstanding the presence of darkness. Like a skilled artisan choosing his tools, you must carefully pick your ideas if you want to persevere through adversity and believe that better things await you on the other side. Stay away from dwelling on negative thoughts, comparisons, or fears. When it comes to your dreams, they don't belong anywhere. Establish your mental tone first thing in the morning. Use positive language. Hope for the best. If you want to believe in what's possible, you need to surround yourself with people, things, and language that say it. Your mind is a jewel. Therefore, protect it with the same care you would a valuable possession. If a pessimistic idea comes to mind, you shouldn't just roll with it. Get a new one. Turn it around. Get your attention back. This is not the conclusion of my narrative. You must tell yourself. Your reality is shaped by your inner world. Creating a better future for yourself begins with improving your ideas. You have to believe in your own strength, abilities, worthiness, and abundance for a long time before you see it mirrored by the world. The fact is that those who made a difference did not always have the best of circumstances. They had faith in their abilities, while others doubted them. That strength was there for you even when everything seemed to be working against you. Make use of it. Your ideas are solid. You are creating a future, a legacy, a life with them. Have faith and build. Construct with intent. Those that have faith in the future will own it. Therefore, construct with optimism. The world will rise to accommodate your vision when your belief is strong enough. Following your ideas and acting swiftly will get you there. Having knowledge is not enough to transform your life. It takes more than a dream, no matter how big or beautiful, to achieve success. One critical quality, the ability to take immediate and unwavering action, distinguishes the dreamers from the achievers. People who have left an indelible mark on history were often not the brightest or most educated, but they were fearless. They took action when nobody else dared. Some stopped, but they continued forward. Their fates were molded by that movement. An inspiration would be Amelia Earhart. Instead than daydreaming about taking flight, she really did it. She fearlessly took to the skies at a period when women were shunned by the aviation industry. She broke down boundaries in society and served as an inspiration to many. She proceeded without seeking approval from others. She took bold action, cementing her place in history with her unwavering will. You too have aspirations. Everything you know will be for nothing until you take action. Your plans will go unrewarded by the world. It will compensate you according to your real actions. Reluctance impedes development. Your dread of space will only intensify the longer you do nothing. Skepticism grows. Bygone chances linger. Progress has halted. Was it the remedy? Being quite firm. Recklessness does not constitute decisiveness. Moving toward clarity. When things aren't going according to plan, you still need to take stock, make a decision, and go on. The reality is that things will never be ideal. Anticipating a definitive answer stifles aspirations. Every little bit helps. No matter how little, every step you take builds your future. Just one courageous talk, one choice, and one phone call. These are the steps that lead to achievement. Quickly implementing your goals should become second nature to you. Do something when the mood strikes you. Seize the chance that presents itself. Embrace decisiveness as a guiding principle that prevents you from veering off course and wasting time. Nothing you say or do will change the fact that you are the one who writes your life story. Make a daring decision, move quickly, and have faith that you will still succeed despite setbacks. Feedback is provided at each stage. You get wiser with every decision you make. Development takes place in this way. Confidence is cultivated in this way. The individuals who achieve the greatest success did not always succeed. The ones who keep moving forward are those who defy gravity. Time and again, they decided to act. Living cautiously is not your purpose here. Here, you are meant to live life on purpose. Fear should not mold your life, but progress should. You are not defined by your intentions, since it matters little in the end. What you did was exactly this. Take a stand, move forward, create your own path through life. It is time to go on the path to personal greatness. Follow your heart. Go for the moon. Build up your resistance. Do not draw parallels. Keep being flexible. Awaken your spirit. Stay optimistic and take swift action. Only you can seize the opportunity that lies ahead of you. The control over your own fate is in your hands. Now is the moment to look inside and create the remarkable life you want for yourself. Are you prepared to go on your adventure? All of life's greatest accomplishments are within your reach. Take advantage of this time in your life and inspire others around you by letting your light shine brightly.